Hi, Herman. It's great to be talking to you today. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you so much. How are you?
I'm great too. Better now that I'm talking to you. Circle of Life is Victory's brand new album that will be released on the 13th of September. In your own words, how would you describe it to your fans?
The whole album,
Yeah,
all in all,
all in all, how would you describe it?
it's one of the best albums I've ever written.
Yeah,
I,
it
I'm really,
surely
I'm
is.
really proud of this album. It turned out very well. Everybody matched in the 2 weeks of recording. Everybody was excited, and everybody gave his best. And we got this time a chance to prepare ourselves, practice a little bit, because there was no Corona. As in the last album. So I got a chance to meet with Johnny on weekends, work out a couple of things, and also with the other guys, So that helps pretty much. And it's so these days, after the ability to do shows, live shows, the band grew much more together. Everybody knows what the other one is expecting, especially everybody knows what I'm expecting as a producer. And I never give up. So in the times in this certain time of 2 weeks recording, it has to go bang, 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 really concentrated and powerful. And I expect everybody play much better than he normally do play. But it worked out well, and nobody gave up. There was no crying, no hassle or something. There was a lot of fun, and I think you can hear it on this album. It sounds so fresh and so exciting and so kind of like a live thing. And
Yeah,
yeah, as I said, I'm really pleased with the album, and I'm very proud of it.
yeah,
It's
and
one of the best I've done.
yeah, it definitely is, and it looks like the band is more oiled up now when compared to Gods of Tomorrow. That also probably has to do with the more live shows that you played in between, right?
I guess so. I mean, I never do compare albums to the other. It's just a certain period of time you record something, and it's 1 or 2 years in between, or for preparing for every album. So that's just this moment in this time. This time we got lucky, and maybe I came up with a couple of nice songs, and hey, everybody liked it, and I got a good feeling before we entered the studio. I was quite sure that this album will turn out pretty good.
Yeah, and it did. Now, talking a little bit about the composition process. Last time we talked was for your solo album, Too Far and I. And you said that most of your songs came through practicing your guitar in the morning and stuff. This album also has the same composition process, I guess.
It's the same procedures
Yeah.
every year, not every year, but every maybe second year. It's it's it doesn't change that much. You have to search, or you have to be lucky to by where it comes from. I can't tell you. Maybe it comes from out of space or whatever, from the universe. I can't tell. It just happens, but you have to have the talent to recognize, oh, that's the thing. It's worth to work on. And as I tell every time in an interview, in my these days you're able to record an iPhone very quick, push button and lay down the idea, and there are tons of ideas. And maybe the 50% you throw away, because you can't remember and figure out what did I do or what did I mean with this little thing. There's na some bullshit melody or whatever, and you no chance to figure out. But on the other 50%, there are a couple of nice licks. Nice hooks, singing wise, vocal wise, or just not a beat, but mostly riffs. And for me, it's very important to have a riff in a song.
Yeah, it is, and that's
I'm
one of
not
the
a
things that
friend
defines
like
Victory.
like a couple of modern players are composing songs. They put just the E chord, the C chord, and the D chord, and maybe they go for a G chord. and then do a keyboard kind of like children melody, and somebody sings. I'm not in this type of music, you know. For me, maybe I'm old school, but for me, a song does need a riff and good vocals. That's
Yeah,
it.
it surely does.
And good vibes and drive, you know. It's really important how you play the drums then on a song. It changed a lot if you do some different bass drum figures and instead, or maybe once in a while you do 4 on the floor. That helps. Also in the bass, I do love the kind of, a couple of people, they would call it simple bass, but doing 8, it's not that easy, and that what makes a song rolling, you know. And it's still a lot of ideas throwing into the trash. And then you have to have this kind of like vision or something. Okay, this fits to an album.
Yeah, and I mean, you succeeded once again. Since last time we talked, that was back in 2021, I think. You released one album with Victory and one other album with one other project that was Iron Eyes. How do you separate the songs for each of these projects? I mean, do you listen to the idea and say, "Oh no, this is pure Victory," and just continue writing for it?
You just have to have a lot of ideas in different styles, and rather you're able to it or rather you're not able to it. You know, listen to this, what you're gonna play, and be sure heavy metal is heavy metal and hard rock is hard rock. Easy like that. Or maybe not easy like that. I can handle it, but you have to think about it. It's not like coming out of nowhere. Oh, now I go for a heavy metal album. Yeah, you need different riffs, different drums, different vocals, and different leads too. You know, on this last Victory album, I couldn't shred like sometimes you want to do in a solo. I was looking for melodies and things people can go along with, you know, maybe sing along or whatever, more melody wise. In Aaron Ellis album or Herman Frank album, there's more space and more. You maybe give some more points on the guitar, on the lead guitars, you know.
Yeah,
That
you do
doesn't
what the
mean
song
that,
asks you
that in Victory they are not, for my average, not bad leads, you know. But I try to do different on every band. Different
Yeah,
style, different music needs different style of lead or guitar playing.
yeah, definitely. You just need to do
Yeah,
what the song asks you to. The song is not as
what the
heavy,
song needs.
spreading throughout it.
Yeah, sometimes you get lucky, and it's once in a while. Yeah, if I listen back, a couple of songs I recorded 10 years or 20 years, I said I could do maybe better or different. But hey, police didn't ring up at my house so far, so I go on in the style I'm just playing.
Yeah, and I hope you go on playing for many, many years, you know, because
Maybe,
the world needs Herman Frank.
I told the boys, hey, you never know how many chances you will get to record an album in a proper studio. Because we went to a really nice studio in the Horus again, because I do love the studio. It's next. It's maybe a K away from my house, and I do know Arne Neurand, the engineer, very well, and I just feel like home when I'm entering the studio. But as I said, I told them, you should enjoy the time. These days, the most people, they're recording back to their living room. You know, times are changing, and we still got the chance to go to a proper studio and record like in the older days, like it should be.
Yeah, like
maybe that's makes a difference in performance or something. I guess so.
Yeah, probably does.
Yeah, if you sit back next to your TV or to your computer, which you're gaming on, you know, do you think you might really concentrated on doing music.
Yeah, no,
In
probably
the
not.
studio, you're closed down, you're locked in for 10, 40 days, the whole band, and there's nothing else to do than just record and talk about what you want to record. How was it? Is it good enough, and stuff like that. It's more like there happens much more communication in between the band. If you just send out files like a lot of bands do, and somebody says, not even a producer says, "Oh, put a guitar on this thing." Yeah, fine. Put some drums on. Yeah, nobody listens.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to record this way. No, I rather would stop them.
Yeah, and the song also fits with your way of recording things. It's much more old school than most of
And
those modern
don't
sounds.
train an old dog. I mean, I was used to record in a studio.
Yeah.
And I'm wishing back to the times where you didn't have the chance to this drop in, drop out, you know.
Mhm.
What is it? Punch in, punch out. You know, on a computer these days, or I play 20 times and then I cut and paste the best parts. I'm still a fan of play the song and rehearse it before and learn your phrases.
Yeah, and if it's not good, replay the whole thing.
Yeah, but because if you know all the songs by heart before you go in the studio,
Yeah,
you can concentrate on performing
exactly.
and not on, oh, is it a G or is it an F or how is the riff going? On performing, that's much more. That's very important, and the result is different, I guess.
It surely is.
Yeah,
Now, Gods of Tomorrow was your previous album. It was Victory's comeback album, and it was
yeah.
very well received throughout, like fans, media, everything. Do you think that Gods of Tomorrow's success was what motivated you and the band to keep on going? I mean, if
Yeah, sure, for sure. If this album would have failed, there wouldn't be a chance for a second one. No record company would pay these days the second time
yeah,
for studio. No. That was a big step, or one important step, you know. But mostly, I was impressed how the band is performing live, and the success of the people when the band shows up and do the score, when we are doing the show, people are talking about it, you know, and they're happy and they are pretty much done after the show. They exhausted, and that what gives me the push to go on and record a new album, because you need to record a new album. You always need a pretty new product to give somebody a reason, a promoter or whatever, or a festival to book the band. It's like a circle, you know. Without any new product, nobody books the band. It's a shame, but yeah.
it's the way it
On the
works.
other hand, there's nothing else you can do. I mean, also Saxon or Judas Priest are recording your albums, and actually, I do love to record new albums, because I love working on new songs or new things.
Yeah, and I think that
Otherwise, I
that
would have.
passion,
Pardon me.
you can still see that passion in on those songs that you release today. You know,
The
you
rather you
really
have passion,
enjoy what
or
you are
you
doing.
should. The rather you have passion, or you should work in a bank
Yeah, exactly.
or in a tech system or something even worse. Yeah. If you do something, or if I do something, I try to give everything what it needs, you know. And I don't want to talk to people, or talk to myself after 2 years. I should have done pay more attention on something or whatever. That's not the way I want to live. Just do it, fine, as good as you can.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. Victory has always had a very big reputation for over the decades that it existed. And how do you balance staying true to your roots and still evolving as a band in your new compositions?
I don't judge.
What do you mean?
I don't judge any positions or something, you know. I'm satisfied with the results of the success so far. It takes time. I mean, first of all, there are 4 new members in the band.
Yeah.
So people have, there's a situation people have to accept all the new band members, and it's in a kind of like new area. But people do accept now, and now the promoters or the festival promoters or the tour promoters, they are heading up and say, oh, wow, they're doing a pretty good job. Everybody talk, they deliver good shows, rock and roll. And on the one side, we doing, some people call it old-fashioned music, but in the audience, also the younger people, they're pretty much happy and satisfied because they can follow the music. And it's just drums and beat and a couple of nice melodies. And they can recognize what the song is. Not like, and it's different than to the lots of bands that are doing quite the same style. The theater thing, you know, they're masked, they're painted, whatever, dressed like like on a carnival or anything else. If you go buy a ticket to a Victory show, you get the music and the performance and rock and roll, and you get sweaty and you get rhythm. So that's the old way, and the old way still works, I guess.
And it's on the best way.
I meet a couple of people after the show. They're really surprised. Wow, we didn't expect that. I said, hey, that's what we call music.
Yeah, that's the focus on the music, not on the rest
just
of
give
it.
them power and a good show and a rhythm, so they can't refuse to bang, you know, and give the right rhythm, so you can't bang your head in 280 beats per minute.
Yeah, it's really hard, even if you're trying not to. It's really hard not to bang your head to Victory, to these songs, and to Gods of Tomorrow as well. It's really, really hard.
So maybe that's a good thing we do, because not many bands are doing this kind of like music anymore.
Yeah.
There are a couple.
Yeah, and there are all
but I do like it. On the other hand, everybody should listen to and go to a show whatever he wants to. I'm just looking for the Victory fans, and I try to keep them satisfied.
Yeah,
and give them the show what they paid for.
Yeah. And now, speaking of live shows, which are your touring plans for this album?
Actually, we do a couple of festivals in the summer, September. After, I guess, 1 week after release the album, we start 10, 12 days in Germany, Switzerland, Austria for the album, and there's already booked a double headlining show with Gravedigger in end of January 2025. Yeah, 25. I'm looking forward to this thing too. It's a nice package. Nobody expected this kind of music with the other kind of music, but it worked because we played with Gravedigger on a couple of festivals, and people like both kind of music. It's not like in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, and I mean,
they accepted both kind of music.
Yeah, and you guys must know each other for long time now. You both come from that golden German generation.
Chris Beutenthal, I guess I met well in my previous life, maybe already. I can't remember. These are nice guys, you know, and yeah, this plan came actually up when we played the 70,000 tons of metal in this cruise ship there. So there was Gravedigger and Victory, and we had been looking for a new booking agency, and there was Henry Clare. He's booking Gravedigger. He saw Victory in it, and then he overnight he came up with the idea. Wow, we should do this double show there. That might be a great package. And I said, hey, why not? Let's just do it. Let's sort out a couple of business things, and then it was done in between a minute.
There isn't an official date announced for Portugal yet, right?
Portugal is out of whatever, you know. Yeah. There was a plan. They already paid advance. There was a festival planned in Portugal for Aaron Ellis. That might have been in the last 10 years my chance to visit Portugal again, and I would love to have it, but it was canceled. So I don't know what's going on there, but I would love to fly over. Yeah.
You know, if the chance comes, don't waste it. I would love to see you here, either with Iron Eyes or your solo project or Victory. It would be great.
I wouldn't mind with any band. I would come by my own. I'd do a solo show with the acoustic guitar. Because I've heard the beer and the food is very good in Portugal.
Yeah, that's
it was
for
last
sure.
time, but actually I can't remember when I was. Yeah, for sure. Maybe with Accept I was in Portugal.
Yeah. Now, moving on a little bit to the lyrical side, what does this new album, Circle of Life, talk about lyrically?
Yeah, Johnny is a youngster. He's a really rock and roller. So he loves to talk about love, girls. But on the other hand, we talked about the money system. You know, it fails worldwide, and yeah, we're maybe a little bit of slaves in right now in our life. And on the other hand, he came up with the lyrics falling one by one, because two wars are right now. You know, in Israel, the situation. This is the situation in Ukraine, in between Ukraine and Russia, and it's like, yeah, I guess he came up with the lyrics what he got in mind. Maybe he got an American girl in mind that he wants to tour in America, because he's never been there. And I guess it's a dream of every singer musician to tour once in the US. So yeah, he's young and he's good looking, so he likes to talk about love and the smell of hair and stuff like that. And I guess it's okay in a band like Victory. Victory is a rock and roll band. I told him I don't want to go too much into politics, because that's not our job.
Maybe American Girl is a way of getting into the American market, you know.
There's no American market right now.
No, nothing.
Right before your interview, I talked to a couple of guys in the US for interviews, and they always ask me, "Is there any chance that Victory comes over to your to US?" I said, "There's a chance if somebody lends us some money." You know, these days you need working visas for every musician who's playing over there. And doing real proper tour, you know, and every visa is in between 2,000 and 3,000 euros for each, just the visa. So you have to fly over, you have to do the tour, and only AAA bands are able to do this. You see, except right now, they're not doing their tour by their own. They do packages with KK Downing.
Yeah,
it's not that easy to do it like it was in the older days. You know, in the past, there was a big market over there. There had been radio stations, and you had been even able to advertise a tour. But these days, no way. And there are only a couple of record companies left. And in the early days, the record company supported the band. They gave a little tour support. So you could sell a couple of copies of LP, even CD, and just make it worth it. But these days, in days of Spotify, no way, no fucking way. It's sad, but it's the truth. I mean, everybody would love to. Everybody would love to go on for 4 weeks or 6 weeks touring US from east to west and north to south, but not these days anymore.
Yeah, and you know, I remember when the Iron Eyes album came out. I remember talking with David Riss, and I remember him saying the exact same thing as you are saying, as you are saying now.
I mean, we have to face the truth.
Yeah.
You know, I easily could say, "Oh yeah, there are plans for a tour." Yeah, blah 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 blah. No.
It's bullshit.
If you want to fill your fridge, don't think about it. It's not possible. And days are over. you go for a bank and get a, was it a loan or something? How do you call it? Yeah. And my grandmother died. She couldn't lend me any money anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Well, hopefully better days
Maybe,
will
hey,
come.
why not? Future is wide open. But these
Yeah.
days you need very good reputation, and it's only worth for AAA bands like Saxon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always also doing better in Europe than in US.
Yeah. Yeah, the European market is much more wide
Yeah.
open right now. And let's hope it keeps that way.
Also, the interest in music change in US, you know. Maybe they're listening more to whatever kind of music.
Yeah. Well, Herman, I think that's it. Would you like to send any message to your Portuguese fans?
Yeah, sorry guys. We are really trying hard for Portugal. Maybe next year a future is wide open. We delivered a really great album. Listen to it, and I think it would be fantastic for you guys to see the band live. It's just another a step more than the album. It's a very good energy filled up live show. Maybe there are a couple of festivals. Call the promoters and ask for victory.